Hey everybody, welcome to the Wombo podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Gimpy, and I'm joined as always by the co-host with the mo-host. I don't know what that is. Chipmunk.
The hell even is that?
I don't
the
know.
Mo-hose?
I don't know. I was
Did
gonna
you say the Mo-hose?
I think that's what I was going for. I don't know. I lost the train of thought as I was
Yeah,
talking.
you gave up. You're like, wait, I can't say that. Godfather got canceled, dude. You can't be a pimp with a hoe train no more. Not in our Lord's year 2023. We get canceled for that.
That might be it, bro. What's up, bro? It's been a couple days. It's been a couple days, man.
Is it though?
It has. I haven't talked to you all week, dude. Well, maybe a little bit.
Man.
Maybe a little bit.
All right, yeah. That's what's up, dude.
Because I think you jumped on for a second on Wednesday.
So, yeah. I thought you guys yeah, you guys all had a full party. I thought you guys were cooking. I was like, I'm gonna let you guys cook, and it bounced out.
Yeah. That was a good session of CS.
Yeah, you liking the new CS, man?
I'm liking it. I just don't have like my normal issue of time.
Yeah.
I
haven't gotten back yet to the Elden Rings. I've been playing mostly Counter-Strike, some BGs.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, the kind of the same issue with time where I'm like, I like to like sit down and play that game for a while, like in good chunks of time.
Yeah.
It's not something like, I don't know. I feel like Counter-Strike has the right mix of like where if you kill like 2-3 people in a row, dude, there's like a really good feeling to that.
There's an endorphin rush for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like I was just talking with the boys and I was like, the penultimate way to play this game is kind of boring. Like you're just kind of waiting around for like the other team to like on defense. Like if you're playing, it's just like positioning, waiting, and you're just sitting around for like 15-20 seconds and like for like 2 seconds of action.
The rounds are 2 minutes long, dude. How fucking bored can you get in 2 minutes? That's an attention span issue with you, brother.
Dude. 30 seconds at a time, bro. That's too much time, dude.
This recording has been going for 2 minutes. You bored already, dude?
A little bit, yeah. That's why I switched right up to Counter-Strike from Elden, bro. I was keep it moving, bro. And I was already done with Counter-Strike. That was all I had to say on that, dude.
That is a you issue, dude. That's a you issue.
No, dude, it's the game. It's the way it's designed. It's the way it's meant to be played, dude. You know?
It's not, and that's just one side of it. You play both sides.
Yeah. For like an hour, dude. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot, dude. It's a lot.
I think you're just nitpicking and finding stuff to complain about, dude. There's no fight.
No, game's really long, dude. It's a big commitment to like get in like a 25 round whatever game, dude. It's way too many rounds.
It used to be 30 rounds, dude.
I know, dude. They need to boil it down to like 5 rounds, dude.
What the fuck?
Get it over and done with, dude. We don't need this.
Why even play the game at all with that logic, dude?
You're right, dude. You want to start playing COD, dude? Getting some Call of Duty?
Nah.
They have Nicki Minaj now, dude. We could play as Nicki Minaj, dude.
I don't understand why you would want to.
They got World of Warcraft characters, bro. They got Spawn. Remember Spawn, bro?
I do remember Spawn. Yeah. So what you're saying is Call of Duty has been off the rails, and why would you play it?
No, it is a game. That's all.
I don't see you playing COD all the time, dude. I'm just waiting for it.
I have nobody to play with, bro. If I want to play a single player game, I'd boot up Dishonored, bro. I'd just sit there and finally play Dishonored or Doom.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you know.
No, I don't.
The spirit, dude. The spirit, the essence, of what makes a game, dude.
You're such a fucking troll.
They're basically the same, dude. Look at the covers. Tell me they don't look like they ape at each other's style, beat for beat, flow for flow, dude.
No.
Bar for bar.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, yeah.
One's clearly a stealth.
So what have you been up to, man?
Just building up courage to fucking talk to your ass is what I've been up to. Nah, man. Forza.
Dang. So did you cave in, get a racing wheel yet?
Nah, not yet. It'll probably happen next week. My son got to drive around in a go-kart, so he was really enjoying that. So he's getting more and more interested in cars and stuff. So I'll probably get a racing wheel that's compatible with both the Xbox and the PC. So he can use the wheel and stuff and have a good time. So we'll see. How
that'd
that
be
goes,
fun, man.
Yeah. So I'm doing that. But I will say the other thing that I've been playing lately is the Dead Cells Castlevania DLC, which
Oh,
is Dead Cells is one of the best like Metroidvania like roguelikes honestly ever. It's fantastic. The combat loop's great. I have nothing bad to say about that game. It is phenomenal. And the Castlevania DLC is done with such love and care that you can tell that they loved that property, and then getting that license from Konami must have been just a fucking dream come true, because
yeah.
fucking pitch perfect, blending the Dead Cell style with the Castlevania levels and enemies, and it has all Castlevania music coming in. I was playing through it for Spooky Month, and it is so good. It's so fucking good.
Nice.
So, if anyone has already owns Dead Cells or whatever, it's like $10, I think, maybe 15 for the Castlevania DLC, and fucking phenomenal. Um, so it's good. And the way Dead Cells does DLC is you have to find the entrance to the DLC maps on the first level. So if you have
Oh,
multiple DLCs, there's different like worlds you can go into from the first map. So that's an interesting way to do DLC as well. I thought that was pretty unique, because it's nice not to just go to a menu, let's pick what the DLC. You actually have to play the core. They integrate it within the core game, and they
yeah.
integrate it very well.
Into the world, into the core. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Baked it
and
right in.
yeah, and that game also had another update where it celebrates indie games itself. So you have skins and weapons from like Hotline Miami, Hollow Knight, why did I just lose it? Shovel Knight,
Oh,
Half Life. You get the crowbar. You have Gordon's suit. You have head crabs. It's it's cool. It's very cool. So shout out to the Dead Cells devs, and they clearly love gaming, and they're using
yeah.
their guy to convey the love for it. Dead Cells is also getting an animated series very soon,
Oh,
so we'll see how that goes.
be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah,
I know like
definitely.
a lot of games have been trying to make the jump over to the big screen.
They have, and I like it actually. Dead Cells is outside of Cuphead. Dead Cells will be the first like indie project to
Did you ever watch
get a
the
show.
Cuphead animated series?
Not for me. Not for me.
Okay,
Didn't care
you
for it.
tried it, or
Yeah, didn't care for it. Didn't like the
and you played
voices.
the F out of the game, right?
Hell yeah, I did. That and the DLC was fantastic. Great game, great game. Show the show's animation style didn't match the game, surprisingly.
Dang. All
Yeah,
right.
it looked like
I
Flash
don't think it's
animation
like
versus Fleischer animation. You know what I mean? So
it's really expensive to animate in the
100%.
style that
It
they
really
did
is.
for the
Yeah,
game. So
yeah, and you can tell. Yeah, definitely. But
so it makes sense.
it was fine. I haven't watched. I don't even know if the second season came out. It must have, but I watched the first 3 episodes. It just fell flat. Not
Dang.
not not the game's fault. Maybe some people enjoy it. It just wasn't for me. You know. But yeah,
All
Dead
right.
Cells, Forza. Fucking that's been my week. Obviously I play some Counter Strike too, but
Yeah.
really, work has works at a busy point. We're getting ready for a big update the next couple
Dang.
days, and then there's a feature that we kind of put our foot down and refused to support the feature until it was fixed.
That's
So
fair, man.
yeah. So
I feel like that's the way
it's
to
fine.
do it, dude. If you're a video game company, you would have shipped and been like, well, sorry, you're going to have to wait for the bugs to be fixed here later on. You
Yeah,
keep paying us to
yeah.
support it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of my day job is business software, but yeah. With
Dang.
the new feature, just
Wasn't ready
seems
for prime time, dude.
it's not ready for prime time, right? I don't want to say it seems half baked, but it seems short sighted for what it is. Like you will need it in the future, but we don't need it right now. And
Yeah.
and it's affecting more than it's not. So that's kind of the reason. But yeah, without getting
Dang.
into too much proprietary stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
You been
little
working on
frustrating.
any personal projects, dude? Do any more 3D printing? Any
Yeah,
chicanery?
yeah. The
Tomfoolery?
Doom chess set's still being printed. I'm completely done with the black pieces. The white pieces are printing now. All of
Why you
the
do the black pieces
all the
first?
pieces, because I had that filament loaded.
All right, I'm just
all of
asking
the
questions that they want to know the answers to,
all the
dude.
pieces are all of everything's done on that side. There's the king. That's a cyber demon.
Oh, heck yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. So I just get the white pieces printed. It takes about 2 days to print those. Then I have to make. Then I print the puzzle pieces that form the board, which looks like this. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of 3D
Oh,
print. This didn't set right, so I'll probably sand that down a little bit. But most of them are Perfect. I need to get my stuff dialed in again. Looks like there's a little bit of
Yeah, like little
it, but
quick puzzle pieces, iron, throw them on a hot plate or something. Get
yeah,
some,
yeah. I could probably just wet sand it. Honestly, it'll be fine.
yeah.
But overall, those are all done, and those like those lock in, and they make the chessboard. So, should be done within about 4 days, I think. So I'll do the puzzle pieces, the
5 to 7 business
things.
days. Got it.
I'll have it completely done by this next weekend. But yeah, I've been
Nice.
working on that. I made some like brackets or whatever. That was got some new tools. Hung those up in the garage.
Nice.
So the new things been going on. So that's I think that
Things have been
running
happening
for like 2 weeks now.
Gotta
It's
get,
been constantly just printing shit.
That's good, man. That's what it's there for. I feel like a lot of people get those things and they just leave them there, and they're like, I don't know. Like I bought that like a normal traditional paper printer, and I used the hell out of it for like the first few days, and I haven't touched it since. But I feel like that's kind of the problem with printers. Like you need it for like whatever big project you're doing, and then like you're like, well, now I guess I just have a printer. I'm that fucking guy now.
But then people will go over to your house and like, can I use your printer? Like every now and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're like, fuck. And then like like even like I wanted to print something off real quick, like the quick reference guide to the Hammer editor.
Yeah.
And like my printer wasn't showing up on there, and I was like, well, this is just fucking about right. I was like, I know that fucker's on. It's in Wi-Fi mode. And I was like, God damn it, I'm not gonna like go over here and start troubleshooting this printer, dude. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So I haven't touched the Hammer editor since.
You're right. Like my wife's job required her to have a printer for a bit, right? And then they kind of switched for everything because she would have to like print stuff and like send it in secure mail. I'm like, what the fuck? Why not just do this over the internet? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? And then they started doing that. So then it's like, I don't need the printer anymore. But she does a lot. She does a lot of eBay stuff. So printer comes in handy for that, printing labels and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
man, I've been.
But yeah, what have you been up to, man? I know you've been using Unity again.
So I haven't stopped, dude. What the fuck? What are you talking about again?
No, I mean, because you said you were trying the Hammer editor and doing source work. So I'm saying Unity again.
Yeah. Back to Unity, dude. I don't know. I basically finished the Counter-Strike map I was working on, and I was like, man, this is dope. And like I think we talked a little bit about where I was like looking at like actually using the Source engine and stuff, and it was like it's all kind of closed up. Source engine 2, they have like no real plans to be out there. The SDK for Source 1's kind of convoluted. And I was like, you can get like an invite to that other thing that the Face Punch is working on, but I was like, I don't want to deal with all this shit. So then I booted up Unity, and I was like, let me check out that program I was working on like 4 months ago. It was like an auto battler clone, and I was like, I haven't touched this thing for a while. Let me look at this thing again and see what happened.
Okay.
And then I figured it out. I fixed the problem that I had with it. Like, the script I fixed still has issues where it's like for draggable objects. And then there's like a thing that's like on end and then like on drag end. So if you stop, there's like an event trigger button thing where it's like it sets up different things like conditions for like a mouse click, but they have the new input system. So I think that's kind of a problem. But the problem is like there's like on mouse exit and then like on mouse click end. And I was like triggering the same script for both those things because I was like, that makes sense for either one of those conditions if they're meant to, if you stop clicking the thing or if your mouse is no longer over the thing, snap to the nearest grid point. That's all I wanted to do.
Okay.
Unity didn't like that, so then I removed the one thing and then it worked just fine. It took me months of troubleshooting it, but yeah, it works now.
Yeah.
And then I spent like 8 hours just like refactoring like the old code. I thought I made it better, but it also feels like it's exactly the fucking same in a lot of ways.
Sure. Okay.
I think there's only so much you can do. I think like, I don't know, fuck you guys and your refactoring nonsense deal where you're like, oh, you should be able to tell what everything is easily at a glance and stuff. It's like sometimes you just need like a beast of a script. And it's not even like crazy. I got about like 200-300 lines on this script, but it's handling like the move conditions and battle conditions for like the auto battler.
Okay. All in the same script?
Yeah. And it's also handling like combat conditions. But it would, like I tried to separate it all for like So I've like changed up like what's holding the stats, what's holding the modifiers. I moved that out.
Sure.
So I got rid of like non-essential things, but like even like animation and shit, like it's still. I made it like an in-between script for some fucking reason, and it's like 3 lines of code, and I'm like, did I fucking need this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Happens, yeah.
it's 3 lines of code. Like, I don't know, but now like I can't undo it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, oh, this is all kind of like spaghetti monster more together, and it's going to be more work than it's worth than to delete these 3 lines of code on a new script than it is to like go back in and like change like the 20 lines of code that this now references.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. It's just shit like that.
So with the last time we talked about Unity, it was the controversy that everyone talked about.
Yeah.
Has that affected you in your pursuit of Unity projects at all?
A little bit. Like not this one because like we talked about where it's like, damn, I just have so much time and money invested in like my Unity project and skills. Or like I've been using Unity longer than I haven't at this point. It feels like, damn it. So it's a crutch, dude. But if I switch to something else, it'd probably be Unreal. But the majority of projects I like to make are like HTML-based games or Android-based games, like things I can like get on my phone and show like my buddies, or things I can like give people in a web browser. Low barrier to entries, dude. People don't have time for your shitty fucking indie game, dude. For the most part, dude. Like if you're like, oh, check out this thing, and they're like, oh yeah, cool, man. But like if you're like, oh, you have to download this like executable and like install it and make like space, like I don't know, it's like a bigger ask, I think.
That's
personally
an interesting point. Yeah, no, I get that.
Especially like on things on like itch.io or like whatever you're using, it's like if it was on Steam, you have to like wishlist it or buy it, or like have to send you a code or get you like on like a green list.
Whitelist.
Yeah, whitelist. Or like if it's on itch, you have to be like, okay, I agree to this thing, download, name a price, hit sign in, and then like buy it. Yeah, like anything you're doing. Whereas like if it's like an HTML based game, like you just like click the website, now you're there, now you're playing the game.
Yeah,
you hit like the play button. Sure, it has to load up, but like it's the same amount of time it would have taken you to download the thing anyway.
Yeah. I'm curious if like Unreal doesn't care about that.
No,
they'll probably never support HTML5 or
they did. It was like back in like 4.23. Yeah, I looked at it because I was like, if I moved over to Unreal, I was like, how can I get like HTML based games? Because they used to support like I think JavaScript too at some point.
Okay.
But they gutted all that shit out because I think they wanted to keep everything proprietary. Sure. So like if you download like I don't know, you go to YouTube and type in like how to make HTML5 game with Unreal, which is what I did. It's like download Unreal Engine 4.23 and then this version of it. This works. Don't uninstall any of the other installers because it'll overwrite your other installer. It's
sure.
It's not too crazy, but it's kind of dumb. Like,
you're using a program that's already antiquated, and that's going to be further antiquated as time goes on. Yeah. I get that. That's too bad, but I mean, I assume that's something like for sure with the influx of money and stuff, I'm assuming it'll just do nothing but get better. So maybe in the future, like in the next 2 or 3 years, it'll be a more viable option for you to look into. But
I mean, there's like Defold, there's Phaser, there's Flux, Flax.
Flax, yeah.
Yeah, there's GDevelop, there's Construct 2, there's Game Maker,
Interesting. Construct 3 is what their Skier is currently supporting. So I mean, that itself is actually browser based for the entire program.
Yeah.
Construct 3. I was a Construct 2 user, and I didn't like the idea of just having to always be online for Construct 3 and using it. But to their credit, I could continue making a game on a tablet. Or if I want to do something quickly on like my phone.
There's a few like phone game making apps now, dude. It's getting more accessible than ever.
So maybe I wasn't forward thinking enough with Construct 3, but with 3's launch, that's when I decided to switch to Game Maker actually, just because 2 is no longer being supported, and like we own the license to 2, so that's I think that's the biggest thing. So when you already own a license to something, you're probably gonna stick with that. Like when you put money towards something like you did with Unity, it's hard to like justify going to something else because you already spent the time and the funds on it, right? So
and if you do, it's like a whole like you're not gonna do a mid project. Like I said, I've been working on this thing for like 4 months ago, and I have like another project in there.
Yeah,
and it's like,
which shout out to the Slate Inspired devs who are their next project. They said fuck it, and they're actually moving shit over to another mid project.
So. But they have like more stakeholders than themselves, you know. Like I think if it was just them, they'd be like, yeah, whatever. Or if they never sold like a ton of copies of Slay the Spire, they'd be like, you know, this changes the whole business dynamics. It just depends on like
I'm pretty sure they're privately held, so it's still them. Or you mean employees?
Yeah, employees and themselves, like,
Got it.
and like, just like, yeah, because you got paid to like keep the lights on and stuff, and like this is your business, dude. Like you're making business level decisions. You're not like, oh, well, what are my hobby level decisions? And like I said, I'll probably make a switch at some point, but like, I don't know. I only have so much time.
And to be honest, why? Right?
Yeah.
Right. If you why? Like
Yeah.
to make the internet happy that you're following some sort of moral code. You know, like at the end of the day, moral code doesn't put dinner on the table. You know, like it's a sad fact.
Yeah, dude. It doesn't get a game on the table for the boys online. You know.
True.
Yeah, and like I don't know, somebody was talking to me about my bro. It was after I was like had just spent like 6 hours refactoring my code. He was like, "Why don't you just switch up?" And I was just thinking in my head, like, well, "Fuck you, dude! I just spent 6 hours coding, dude, and you're like, just dunk all this fucking thing so you can spend like another like 2 weeks learning a whole new engine just to start your project." Whereas like I'm like mid swing in this project, deep in it, dude.
Sure.
And like I don't know, like. There is a thing like I used to do like I pull up like Construct 3 or GDevelop and like quickly prototype out how a game works.
Yep.
And I'd spend like 5-6 hours doing that.
Yep.
But that was to get like just to test the core gameplay loop of it real fast.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, all right, this is the basic of the most basic idea. It's a square executing, you know,
famously,
whatever.
Even some AAA devs do that with Game Maker or even Unity.
Yeah.
Even if they don't use Unity, it's still on staff for that specific reason, which is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very viable.
So like I've taken projects from like that quick game loop and then like gone into like another engine and like start programming out things like more deeper and comprehensive. Where like I'll scrap that 5-6 hours of work to make sure that the game idea is feasible. Or like even like, you know, like I have dice, I have like paper, I'll like prototype something out there and I'll spend, you know, an afternoon doing it that way. And then, you know, I'm never gonna like make a board game or something out of that project. I'm not like, oh, what was the point of this? But like, I don't know, I've never been like mid project and been like, yeah, I'm gonna scrap like my 40 scripts, my 200 sprite animations that I did, this custom editor that I wrote.
Well, you'll never have to scrap your sprite animations though.
Yeah, but like,
but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like I wrote like a whole custom editor to like import like animations and shit. I'm very proud of it. Like, you know, I have a whole custom animation controller and shit. Like, sure, I can rewrite all that shit in Godot, but why?
Sure. Yeah.
Why? Yeah, like you said, for internet clout, dude, but for people that don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I care, like, you know, and then there's always like the off chance or the idea. I feel like I heard this saying, and it's like everyone in America feels like a down on their luck millionaire currently, you know, where it's like, I think like everyone thinks like, yeah, this next HTML5 game I make, maybe, you know, pop off. And all suddenly everyone's going to be like, you know, paying me the big bucks. And then, you know, PopCap will buy it from me for $10 billion. And, you know, it all started because I chose not to use this engine. It's like, nah, bro, that's not happening. Like, not never, dude. Not once, dude.
That's hilarious.
It's like, you know, drop this Android release of I'll have the next Flappy Bird, dude. It's on. And it's like, nah, bro. Like, unless they have like some new novel control scheme that like has never before been seen, I feel like most of us aren't even like in that creative space. Like the most recent idea I had for like a game that I was thinking about switching on Unreal to, like I immediately folded and I was like making concessions. Even on my dream, I was like, yeah, I'd like to do this like in this art style. And then I was like, man, that art style is a lot of work though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was like, fuck that, dude. I could do like half of that, and then I could do it maybe like more of a jokey tone instead of like a serious tone. Like, yeah, so like even like in my fantasies, I'm not like super indulgent, dude. Like I think like if you so yeah, I'm not like switching engines mid stride, but I'm definitely looking out there. I think like Flax looks pretty solid default. Lumberyard, I know they just had a release.
Fuck that.
Come on, bro. Get on. Come on.
No thanks.
Come on, bro. Let's get on Lumberyard. Okay. Did you watch at all the Twitch Rivals?
No.
It was insanely like bad. They had like a bunch of competition of games, but instead of playing like video games, they did shit like Tippy Cup and like played like Catch the Slinky. They did like Pong.
Okay.
Like, yeah, they did like I don't know. They just do like weird like drinking games, but nobody was drinking.
Sure.
And then they had like a couple of video games, but they look like the most weird generic arcade video games possible. They're like
Made with lumberyard.
I guess, dude. That was my guess. I was like, how's Amazon not on this with like their games division?
I'm truly assuming that lumberyard will be scrapped in the next 5 years or so.
Yeah, I mean they dropped the open source version of it. It was like OED3 or something like that.
Anyone using it?
No, but I'm saying like they're already kind of like forking it in that direction of being like, oh, let's get rid of this shit and just make it open source and use it as a tax write-off.
Yeah. It's this weird thing where Amazon, like we've said before, we should be running Amazon's game division, putting it in focus and stuff like that. Just they're and it's Bezos, so who cares if he's blowing money, right? He doesn't care.
Yeah, this is kind of like what happened with Microsoft with Halo, where they did like an audit and they found like half their employees were like using the Unreal Engine and making like their own game prototypes during business hours. The other half were like preparing pitches for like the next Halo game, even though they're like, we're going to use this engine for like the next 10 years. So they ended up like having to fire like half the fucking employees, dude.
I like to cite your source on that. That sounds like a bunch of made up malarkey.
Source, I made it the fuck up. Go look into it, dude. That's all I'm saying. I feel like the same thing's going on with the Amazon Games division, dude. Like, what the fuck is happening over there?
I don't know, dude. Like, do they even
I
have
also found out
to be released?
You talk about sauces, dude. I watched a GDC talk with like one of the level developers for Cyberpunk 2077, and I complained about like the last two podcasts. But I feel justified now. Like it was like one of their lead level designers.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been working on the new Witcher game, dude. Like, so they haven't touched like the DLC. And I was like, that makes sense because these levels feel like they're made by like new people. And he was like the first like half of his talk, like the first 2 hours is talking about like why you should never make like hallways and linear level designs, and like that's all the DLC is. It was like somebody trying to learn the tools and they're like, I'll just make hallways.
Got it. Okay.
So that's my sauce for that now. I feel a little justified.
Okay.
Having a source for that.
I'm gonna look this up afterwards and see.
Got it.
I think you're paraphrasing to make your point. I'm curious if he actually did that.
He talks about just working on like the new Witcher levels, but like I'm assuming if he's working on the new Witcher, he's not touching the Cyberpunk DLC, which is a big assumption on my part, but you know, I'll stick with it. I'm double down on this.
I love how your source is just trust me, bro.
Source, trust me, bro. It just all makes sense, dude. Look at those levels, bro.
So, I haven't purchased the new Cyberpunk DLC yet, so
tell me it doesn't look like they were designed by ancient aliens, dude.
I'll have to. But yeah, man, I just gotta say, happy you stuck your ground. You're using Unity. Will that? Would you say that that's feature complete now? Your auto battler, or do you still have some work to do on it?
No, bro. Like I said, like I've just been refactoring code like an asshole. So you can. Like a lot of it's just been tooling for the rest of the game for the core gameplay loop. So you can buy units, they fight each other. I set up stages and rounds, so like enemies spawn in waves, and I can set up like each wave with however enemy units I want to have in there.
Okay.
So that's all set up. I have a shop where you can buy. I wrote a script to make a custom editor GUI for. When you get 3 of a kind, it'll like give you possible upgrade branches. So like you start off, like the store only has like peasants in there that you can summon with gems. And then after you get 3 of those, then it's going to give you like 4 different options for like a possible upgrade path.
Sounds like TFT. Is that the inspiration?
Yeah, dude, it's all of this. Dude, it's been Hearthstone, it's been TFT, it's been a little Slay the Spire, dude.
Sure. Okay.
It's a little.
No, I'm just forming the game in my head as you describe it. That's all. I'm just asking.
Yeah, it's taking all that DNA from the RTS style. So that gives you like different possible unit upgrade paths based on that, and then like you select that, then it adds those new cards. This is all part I haven't done. I've made the GUI editor for like the upgrade pass. I can set all that. The store's done. You can set all that. There's bonuses you get at the end of rounds, so you can like choose like a different like bonus modifier to apply to all your units.
Okay.
And then what I still have to do is make more bonus modifiers, add the different units, which they're all in. Like I said, I made like the custom animation tools. It's like everything's there. They're all animated. I just have to like change 3 things, like the name, the sprite animation, and the editor controller. So it's using the proper sprites.
Okay.
And then set a GUI image.
So what you're saying is you basically have all of the like background work done, the artwork's done. You just have like 80% of coding left to do.
I pretty much just have to set up the upgrade, store mechanics, because right now it's like
the gameplay loop. The
gameplay loop is done. Yeah, start screen still needs to be done. I have a victory and defeat screen. The game is technically done, right? You got the main 3 screens: the gameplay loop, the victory screen, the defeat screen.
Okay.
And they all work except for defeat. Like nothing happens then. Like it should exit you out of the game and uninstall it or something. Yeah. Or loop back to a start screen that I don't have yet, or like restart the app. But yeah, the core gameplay is done where like you can buy units, set units, you can move units around. They're all draggable and droppable. And then they fight. You hit a fight button, they fight each other, and then if you win or lose, like it goes to that. Then there's one modifier right now just for testing. So you can select some modifier, it equips it on your units, and then you buy more units. And there's only like 4 rounds right now because it's all test.
Sure.
But yeah, like although the back ends are working, so adding different rounds is just as simple as dragging and dropping the prefabs. Adding different stages is just as simple as like right clicking, add new stage, and then like you set up rounds for that or units for that. Setting up the new units is changing those 3 things. I have the upgrade editor already coded, so all I have to do is like literally like click a prefab, drag it in, and then like select the icon that I want to display for that unit, and then click like add branch, and then it adds like other prefabs with like their unit icon and cost. And then I have to write the final bit of code for that, which is like I have a save button there that does nothing. Right now it's just kind of like an elaborate prank. So there's like an exit button and a save button. So the save button needs to like save it all to like a new scriptable object or a JSON file that I can access somewhere else in code.
Got it.
But then all the upgrades would be done at that point. And then I have to do something like once you upgrade a unit, it adds that into like a pool of cards, which we'll just go back to how the shop works, but it's close.
But it's basically done.
Yeah, like I said, man, the core gameplay is basically done. There's like some quality of life things to like make it a proper game. Like right now, it's like you'd play it for 10 minutes, and you'd be like, "That was cool. I want more of this."
Sure. Now,
which is a good feeling.
Now to wrap up here, let's say after the controversy with Unity, and I famously said fuck that guy, whatever the CEO's name, Riccatello. He's now stepped down. He made a fucking gajillion dollars from stepping down, but he's no longer in charge. Do you have hope for Unity's future?
No, they've been down this garden path for quite a while. We've like kind of talked a lot about it. Like I thought they weren't doing great when they bought up Weta.
The
like the effects.
Yeah.
No, the Weta was just like for visual effects shit. That like for movies. And I was like, I guess that kind of makes sense, but I was like, it doesn't seem core to the business pillars that they've set up. It just seems like a solid acquisition that will make them money, which isn't bad, right? But like if you're running a game company, you're like, oh, I guess that's kind of movie adjacent. And it's like, you kind of, bro, but like, but it's not.
So
I didn't like that.
Their horizons outside of the gaming space.
I didn't really like their
product.
I thought the Havoc engine purchase was like okay. I didn't feel it was great, but I was like, you know what, this makes sense. You need physics.
Industry standard for years. So.
Yeah. It's like it's sort of like the industry standard for years. It makes more sense to buy this instead of licensing, and you'll get like more revenue on the back end. But yeah, it was like I think what's the ad thing that they bought that was like literally malware at a certain point.
Yeah.
It's like Iron Forge or something like that.
Yep, that was the ad platform.
Yeah, when they bought that up, I was like, oh, that's when I already started looking. I have like Godot already installed in my computer. I have like GDevelop installed. I've already been like looking like for a while now. Like in between projects, like I started like the like that 2D top down thing, and then like after that, I like went to Godot for a little bit, and then like I went to like the Hammer editor for a bit, and then now I'm back to Unity, and then just because I had like that other project just kind of sitting there roasting.
Yeah,
it's also been taking up like mental space because I was like, I've talked about this fucking project on this podcast a bunch a while back. You know, it's been
so
fucking.
Let me ask you this:
Is
there anything big that Unity will do to get you to leave it?
No,
okay,
I don't think so.
No,
unless
fair.
like they start like making like.
Unless they like revoke your personal license or something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Where they're like, we're done with those licenses and you can no longer access this product, or without like paying us like a monthly subscription or something like that. I'd be like, yeah, I think it's time to move. Like, you know, it's just like there's more like again, much like getting the boys to play the HTML5 games. Like the second they start adding more pain points to like access their like shitty product, their subpar product, then I'll be out. Like it is not going to take much for me at this point. I'm already like thinking about like how I can get like a lot of my assets and like transfer them over to like an external drive, so I don't have to use their editor anymore or launch from there to like transfer that stuff over. I'm already looking at Unreal. I'm feeling like I'll probably just end up making like Android apps on it now instead, which I don't really want to do, but you know, whatever. There's nothing wrong with like executables either, I guess. You know?
Yeah, I mean, well, do it till you can't, right? So
yeah,
we'll see.
But it's. I'm getting closer to Unreal than not. That's the most appealing of the offers on hand. I like their nanites. I like the lumens. I like the possibility of VR in that space for like a desktop build for stuff. I know it's all kind of shit right now. It's all like half baked, but like I at least like the direction they're moving. I like their user portal now that they have for developers. I like their Unreal Mega Grant, where they seem to be just willing to give people money. I like that. Those skills will also transfer over to like Fortnite. You can build like Fortnite mods that people can pay you money for, and they're like reinvesting 60% of the profits from Fortnite into paying developers.
I don't need you sucking off Epic right now, dude. We're gonna end it here.
Hey, man. I mean, at the end of the day, like their heartless
fucking blows its load on
start
that one.
sponsoring our fucking podcast. I don't know, man. Like, what about you, man? Is there anything that would get you to move off of Game Maker at this point?
No, there's no reason for me to yet. They haven't done anything that.
I mean, they got bought up by that web browser, right?
Opera, yeah. And they've actually
improved stuff.
Have improved shit. So.
Everything's gotten better. What's it like? What's that like, dude?
Yeah. What's that like? Yeah, no. So let's have steady updates that make sense. Yeah, no.
Your shit hasn't gotten worse and more broken, dude.
Yeah.
You don't have four different types of the engine.
It's been interesting.
Your launcher.
They do have a monthly subscription fee for New Year's, but I was grandfathered into my Studio 2 license. So, but you know, that's just software in general. Like everything has a monthly fee too. Like the company I work for, our software platform, it's monthly fee.
Software as a service.
Yeah, and that's the sad state of the industry, but that is the industry right now. So you can't fault it. I think those who are using it with a monthly fee, I feel it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? If you're paying for it, I feel like you're more likely to finish your project because you're like,
or at least use it.
At least use it. Yeah. So,
do you have any subscriptions right now that are just fucking lingering, dude?
Yeah.
Damn.
I do.
I have like two people. I have like
you have Game Pass, don't you? Is that just sitting there?
No, I finally canceled that. I canceled that like 2-3 months ago, like right before.
I was gonna say my Nintendo Switch Online. I don't play the Switch Online at all. I play single.
Immediately, I kind of regret losing my Game Pass because like Starfield dropped as well as the new Forza, and I'm like, fuck, I probably should have just kept it for like another 2 months. Yeah. But you know, whatever. I do have some people I pay like Patreons to for like $10, but I don't know. I used to like follow more of like their like YouTube tutorials and shit, but like I haven't needed them. But like I kind of still support the hustle a little bit. Part of me is like, damn, I should probably, you know, I don't need to be giving these guys money, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't feel good about it though. Maybe I should stop. What else do I have? That's like, I'm paying for ChatGPT Pro still.
But you use that.
Yeah, I use that. I'll ask it questions sometimes.
Yeah.
I query it. I put in my code for Unity. Like if I fuck up something and it gives me an error, I'm like, what does this mean?
Yeah,
I'm like, what
nice.
did I? Nice. Yeah, it is nice because, like I said, like when you get to the intermediate advanced level of coding, like you're basically Googling solutions, and this is like a Ask Jeeves of solutions, where it's like, have you thought about this, this, or this, or like here's like sometimes, not often, but sometimes they'll give you like an actual like link to like the Unity documentation page that you're looking for. Other times they'll just like straight up hallucinate and like give you like shit that is not the right answer at all.
Yeah.
Other times they'll give you like 3 possible solutions, and you're like, all right, I only thought of like one of those, and I like the other 2.
Sure.
So yeah, it's been helpful. It's been really helpful. It's been making me better at coding. It's been helping me like edge more towards the advanced programmer from like
That's
the
awesome.
intermediate.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, but it's also kind of a crippling crutch. Where I feel like I'm over reliant on it now. Where like my first instinct now is to like, oh, let me check this, instead of being like, let me just think about this for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
My first thing's like, all right, let me copy paste this and ask like real quick.
Let me tell you this. I'm gonna end it here. Googling is a skill, right?
Yeah.
Putting your shit into and having the knowledge to go, hey, this AI stuff will probably help me figure this out. That's also a skill. Don't call it a crutch. That's a skill, dude. You're using a newfound skill. Like, does it get the job done?
Yeah.
All right. That's it. That's all you need to do. Does it?
Goddamn right.
Yeah. Don't matter. But yeah, dude. Don't feel guilty.
I think
about
also
that
like
shit.
understanding enough too of like your problem as well, like troubleshooting things, learning like those A+ skills for like computer problem solving, where it's like, where's this problem appearing? How, like knowing debugging skills of like, how can I like shoot this into like a line, a debug line to like print like when things are firing off.
Yeah.
Figuring out like where the leak is on your boat and then being able to like plug that up. Those are good skills, man. Those, it's a little bit of a crutch, but not really. It's the future, dude. It's the future, old man. Deal with it.
All right. On that note, this has been the Common Level Podcast. I'm Mr. Gimpy.
Chipmunk.
See us every Sunday. Like, share, subscribe. We out of here.
We out. Peace.